Hey there, and welcome to the Grumpy Stew Podcast. My name is Dylan, I am the Grumpy Stew, and you're listening to the podcast for old people. What? Oh, it's not the podcast for old people? Then what the hell is it? Seriously? People actually listen to this thing? Oh, yeah, not that many. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll do it again. No, I got it. Hello and welcome to the Grumpy Stew Podcast. My name is Dylan, I am the Grumpy Stew, and you're listening to the podcast for flight attendants. That's right, the Grumpy Stew is back by unpopular demand. Normally, I apologize for the long space between episodes and say I was busy. Not this time, not fucking busy at all. My ass has been sitting at home for 2 months doing very little. But here I am. I thought I'd throw together a little episode for you fine grumps. And it's going to be a pretty good little show, for once. Unfortunately, it's just me today, flying solo, no guests. I do apologize in advance. You're listening to episode 40 of the Grumpy Stew Podcast. But before we get on with the rest of the show, first a word from our sponsor. Me, I'm the fucking sponsor. I'm the guy paying for this shit, hence the low production value. You know what? The Grumpy Stew website ain't cheap. Podcast hosting ain't cheap. SoundCloud is stupid expensive. I'm probably going to cancel that, but it ain't cheap. Go on to thegrumpystew.com. Scroll on down where it says a message from the Church of Jetway Jesus. There's a small button that says send your tithe to Jetway Jesus. It's right below a direct quote from our buddy, Jetway Jesus. You can't miss it. Click on that button, and if you can, if you're able, no pressure, send our buddy, Jetway Jesus, $1. If you're feeling generous, buy him a cup of coffee. Little known fact, Jetway Jesus lives on airplane coffee. I know most people would think it would be crackers and fake wine. It's airplane coffee. But by Jetway Jesus, I mean me. And if you're in a especially jaunty mood, subscribe to the Grumpy Stew Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you click like on your favorite episodes, so that way Overlord YouTube Analytics can send me some noobs, and I can take advantage of them. Okay? We have a deal? Great. Anyway, this is episode 40. You know what else is on episode 40? Me, this guy. That's right. I just ticked the old clock over to the big 40. My parents, they keep telling me how their 40s was like the best time of their life. Yeah, I think they were just trying to make me feel better about the best years of my life, likely being behind me. I definitely don't bounce back like I used to. I used to be able to have a couple of beers, go to bed, wake up, feel fantastic. Now? Now I just regret regaining consciousness. I have this debilitating disease. I have not told anybody about this, but it's a disease. It's called being a morning person. I don't know when it started, how I got it, how it happened. I don't know. Certainly, no one asked me if I wanted to be a morning person. I never got a phone call, an email, text message, postcard, nothing. Just one day, I started waking up with the sunrise. And I have done so ever since, with very little exception, every fucking day. And now, as an added bonus, things just randomly hurt for no reason at all. Just the other day, I strained a muscle on my neck, a muscle I didn't know I had. And you know how I strained my neck? I sneezed. That's it. That's all it takes to kick my ass now. Pollen. And before that, I damn near herniated myself. And all I did was stand up. I was sitting down. I got up. And I'm like, great, I'm hurt. I'm infirmed. All I did was go from a sitting position to a vertical position, and then things just kind of went downhill from there. I somehow tweaked one of my knees just walking down the stairs. I got midway down the stairs, and then I'm like suddenly hobbled. Great, now I'm a gimp. My knee hurts for no goddamn reason, and I'm a gimp. So, now I'm 40, and I can't sleep, and for no reason at all, random bits and pieces hurt. So, how you guys doing? Now I gotta warn you. I got a rant boiling inside me. It's coming up like vomit. You can feel it coming, but this is a rant. It's about the COVID. I know you're sick to death of talking about the COVID, thinking about the COVID. You're sick of hearing about the COVID. I am too. But we can't ignore this shit anymore. We can't ignore what this has done to our industry, what it will do to our job, if we even have a job come October. I'm pretty sure the damage is at least partially irreparable. I think we have to expect that. Things will likely never be quite the same. I think that's just realistic. Our respective airlines could well be smaller for years to come. I mean, that's what the experts are saying. That's what the CEOs are saying. And we need to come to terms with the possibility that business travel may never be the same again. And business travel is what pays our bills. Plane tickets are expensive. Zoom is cheap. Yeah, I know. Some things just can't be done over Zoom, but I think they'll figure it out eventually. Eventually, the business geniuses will put two and two together and realize Zoom cheap, plane expensive. Now, I've been off for a couple of months, and I was prepared to stay home for July as well. To settle, to let the dust settle. That was my thinking. But then my company was like, nope, you're coming back. And I was like, okay, I'll come back. At first, I was glad to be going back to work. I've mostly just been sitting on my ass, not doing much of anything. You guys know I have the audiobook stuff. I have my audiobook gig. But let's be really honest here. I haven't been working that hard at it, if I'm being honest. I have a title languishing in Audible quality control right now. It's been sitting there over a month at Audible. And hopefully they'll release it one of these days soon. But I finished it back in May. It's July. And it's just sitting there. I'm getting a little frustrated because the only way I get paid is if people buy this fucking book. But, yeah, anyway. I got another book I'm working on. That's going to be a big seller, but I'm not done with it, taking my time. Anyway, that's a tangent. And if you want to, you can go to my website. I'll leave a link down below if you're curious about audiobooks that I do. Anyway, I was glad to be going back to work. But now, I got to thinking about it, and I have some concerns. One, will my uniform still fit, or will I look like a cupcake with legs? 2, 3/5 of my July schedule is European. I'm kind of worried about those trips canceling. And then the way our pay protection works is I have to sit on reserve to protect my pay. I commute. I just gave up my crash pad. I cannot afford to sit in a hotel for a month waiting for the phone to ring. I can't do it. And this is because of the European Union's ban on American travel. My other concern is how much time will I spend just telling people to wear their stupid mask on their stupid nose and mouth. Look, I don't like wearing the mask either. It fogs up my glasses. I find myself touching my face a lot. And in the very beginning of this thing, they said, don't touch your face and wash your hands. And what am I doing? I'm touching my face. But I still wear the mask. I wear it for you. You wear it for me. This shouldn't be difficult, but no. A certain orange someone had to make it political. Because everything is about him, right? And then when he went and threw fuel on a conspiracy theory bonfire, it just made things worse. By the way, this is the same orange idiot that was warned about the COVID, turns out, late last year. And he didn't do a goddamn thing to prepare the country for a pandemic. What did he do instead? Well, let's take a look at it. First, he ignored it. He ignored the problem. And then when Operation Ignore didn't work because the press got wind of it, he then downplayed the severity of the situation and tried to sweep it under his rug. I mean, never mind his hair. He tried to sweep the problem under the rug. Well, come to think of it, it's a lot like his hair. Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about it. Remember when he said it's just one guy or 5 guys or 15 guys and soon it'll be 0? Then he claimed it'll go away with the spring heat. Well, it's summer in Florida. It's in the 90s and it's fucking exploding down here. I'm just saying. But of course he lied about it. And he has lied about the lying. And he has continued lying for months and months. Then he went so far as to call it a hoax. And people believe him. That's the danger of this. Just yesterday, he said on Fox News in an interview that it's just going to disappear. COVID will just disappear. It'll go away. He said it'll go away, but then we also have a vaccine for it soon. If it's a hoax that's just going to go away, then why do we need a vaccine? I missed that part in school. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that was the class where they shoved a very powerful light up some guy's ass. I think I missed that class, pretty sure. Yeah, definitely missed that class. You know the irony of all of this? If the stupid son of a bitch had just stepped up and led on the COVID response, he'd be sailing to re-election right now. But instead, he's trailing 10 points nationally. Fucker, he's stupid. The only reason he tried to pretend all of this was nonsense and a hoax was because he thought it hurt him politically. Because it's all about him. How fucking sick is that? The other thing that bothers me is I can't help but wonder how much of this pain and suffering could have been avoided. 126,000 dead Americans. 126,000 dead Americans. That's kind of a lot. And this stupid idiot has people convinced it's all a massive left-wing conspiracy to make him look bad. Let's get fucking real here for a second. He doesn't need any special help looking bad. He kind of does that pretty darn well on his own. Between the fucking makeup he's wearing and that stupid haircut and those fucking ties and that stupid baggy suit and his big fat ass. Every time he opens his mouth, something stupid comes out of it. He doesn't need any help looking bad. 126,000 dead Americans. Kids haven't been in school. Millions of people have lost a job. Who knows how many businesses have closed? And we may not have jobs come October. Our lifestyle is changed forever. The industry is changed forever. And this is how we earn our living. It's not going to be the same because of that asshole. And all that stupid fuck had to do was show up to work and be present for 5 freaking minutes and address the problem. Just about every modern country on this planet has COVID under control. I'm sure you've noticed that. But it's exploding here. You know why it's exploding here? Because people say stupid platitudes that make 0 sense. Well, you can't keep a $22 trillion economy closed forever. First of all, who said forever? Second of all, who you volunteering to go up on the chopping block just so you can get a haircut? I need a list. We also need to own up to the fact it's not just old people dying from this thing. It's young people too. It's people my age. It's people your age. It's people younger. A 24-year-old kid at my airline died from it. He was perfectly healthy, and he's dead. Think about that. I've got a brother-in-law that has an organ transplant. He's at risk. He's not much younger than me, and he's got 3 kids to feed. Think about that. I've got a dad that's a cancer patient. Think about that. So he should give up his life so someone else can go get a haircut? So some stupid kids can go to the beach? I don't fucking think so. It doesn't work like that. Then you got these stupid women down in South Florida going on about how wearing a mask impedes God's perfect breathing system. Earth to dumb Florida bitch, you can breathe through the mask. It's also worth noting that we do not live in a theocracy. We do not make health policy based on an ancient book of literature. That's not true. It's all fake. It's bullshit. It's literature. Then you have your idiotic Facebook friends sharing a meme of a cartoon face wearing a disposable mask with drywall dust all over it. And they're like, well, if it can't keep out dust, how will it keep out a virus? It won't, fucktard, obviously. That's not the point. The point is mitigation. That's the point. It slows down transmission. It buys us time, asshole. It buys us time so the experts can get behind this thing and figure it the fuck out so we can get back to our lives. You selfish fuck. By the way, anyone that wears a flimsy disposable mask to do drywall work has got to be a couple of IQ points away from being legally retarded. Okay? It's apples and oranges, friends. It's a logical fallacy. Don't fall for it. It's called the fallacy of false equivalence. Don't fall for it. You're smarter than that. Mask orders are finally in effect in most places. Gee, that only took, 5 months? Meanwhile, most Asian countries are acting like nothing ever happened because nothing ever did happen because they got the fuck on top of it immediately. And then you have these stupid fucking Karens and Kevins screeching about their fucking rights on private property. Newsflash, you have no rights. You go to Costco, you don't have rights there. That's private property. If they require a mask, you are contractually obligated to follow the rules because you signed a contract when you became a Costco member and you said you will follow the rules. Well, the rules is wear a fucking mask. And there you are screeching about your fucking rights that you don't have. Wear the fucking mask so we can finally get this freaking thing behind us and move on. And speaking of rights, you do not have rights. I hate to break it to you. This is going to come as a shock to some of you, and I think George Carlin said it best. What you have are privileges, and privileges can be taken away, but you do not have rights. And you want some evidence for this? Google Japanese internment camps, and you'll learn all about your rights. American citizens were rounded up and put in camps, all because of where their parents or grandparents were born. The only rights those people had was right this way, to the internment camp. No due process, no rights to an attorney, American citizens in good standing, and all they got was fucked. But hey, you have rights. Sure you do. I mean, you don't have to go back to the 40s to see how we fucked people with no rights. I mean, slavery, hello. Segregation, hello. A genocide we waged against native people. People who were here 20,000 years before us, by the way. We stole their land, killed them, destroyed their way of life, rounded them up, threw them on undesirable plots of land that we didn't want for ourselves, and as an added bonus, named them after us. We are fundamentally completely full of shit. But you gotta wear your fucking mask. You just have to. Wear the fucking mask. Tell your friends to wear the mask. Just friggin' wear the goddamn mask. So one day, we don't have to wear them anymore. All of us want to go back to work. All of us want to be productive citizens. All of us want to go out and eat and go to concerts and travel and not give a fuck about some shitty virus. But we can't do any of that until everyone gets with the program and does their part to kick this virus square in the taco. That's the only way we're going to get our lives back. Sorry for the rant, but it was necessary. Wear your fucking mask. If you like the podcast, you can help me out by subscribing to the Grumpy Stew Podcast YouTube channel, and feel free to share your favorite episodes on social media. Visit the Grumpy One at grumpystew.com, and you can find me on the Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. If you're interested in my audiobooks, visit dylanvoiceover.com. Be sure to say your nightly prayers to Jetway Jesus, and maybe leave him a buck or two. And thanks again for listening. Talk to you guys next time.